7 types. Types. That's all you need to understand if you want to protect your future from women who can ruin your life, drain your resources, and leave you worse than before you met them. This is not about shaming personal choices. This is about recognizing behavioral patterns that reliably predict relationship failure, emotional damage, and exploitation. There are specific categories of promiscuous women whose sexual history and behavior make them objectively unfit for long-term commitment. Most men only recognize these types after it's too late, after years invested, money spent, trust destroyed, and peace lost. Her past becomes your problem, but you don't have to learn the hard way. These patterns repeat. The red flags are consistent, and men who ignore them always end up the same way: betrayed, depleted, and replaced. Today, you'll learn the 7 types of promiscuous women you must avoid at all costs, the behaviors that expose their past, the signs of bonding incapacity, and why sexual history predicts relationship outcomes. We start with the most deceptive type of all. Type 1, the serial monogamist. At first glance, she appears safe. No one-night stands, no overlapping relationships, justa string of serious boyfriends. But look closer, she's had 12 to 15 relationships in a decade. None lasted longer than a few months. Every man was the one until suddenly he wasn't. And between relationships, she was never single for more than a few weeks. This is promiscuity, disguised as commitment. She rotates men continuously while hiding behind the boyfriend label. Technically faithful, functionally unstable. Why? She's destructive. First, she cannot bond deeply. She leaves the moment the honeymoon phase fades and real effort is required. Second, she's addicted to novelty, excitement, attention, passion. When that wears off, she's never learned long-term commitment skills. Third, accumulated emotional damage. Every breakup adds trauma she will project onto you. How to spot her: a history of short relationships, never being single, falling in love instantly and losing interest just as fast. If you date her, you're just the next number and you'll be replaced like the rest. Type 2, the reformed party girl. She tells you she's changed. The partying, casual sex, drugs, and reckless behavior were back then. Now she's 28 or 30 and wants something serious. Here's the truth she avoids. People don't fundamentally change just because time passes. Her past predicts your future. Why? She's destructive. First, diminished bonding ability. Multiple partners reduce emotional attachment capacity. Research shows higher divorce rates and lower satisfaction among women with extensive sexual histories. Second, she didn't reform from conviction, she aged out. Her options declined. So now she's seeking security. You're not her first choice. You're her backup plan. Third, sexual desensitization. Years of casual validation have made intimacy transactional, not meaningful. How to spot her: minimizing her past, party-heavy social media, constant references to former flings, friends still living the same lifestyle. You get what's left after. Others got her best version for nothing. Type 3, the one with many guy friends. She insists they're just friends, while maintaining constant emotional access to men who clearly want her. Coffee dates, late-night texting, emotional venting after fights with you. This type survives through gaslighting. You're called insecure for noticing what's obvious. Why? She's destructive. First, dependence on male validation. A secure woman doesn't need constant attention from other men. Second, monkey branching preparation. She never lets go of one man without lining up the next. Third, disrespect for boundaries. Your discomfort comes second to her need for attention. How to spot her: non-stop texting, one-on-one hangouts, exes still present, hostility when boundaries are set. Eventually, one of those friends replaces you. Type 4, the covert sugar baby. She never admits to trading sex for resources, but her history reveals it. Older wealthy men. Luxury experiences far beyond her income. When questioned, it's always "I was invited." She's learned to monetize intimacy without labeling it prostitution. Why? She's destructive. First, she views relationships as transactions. Second, she doesn't value emotional effort, only material output. Third, Constant comparison. Unless you outperform previous providers, you'll always fall short. How to spot her? Mismatched lifestyle and income, history of wealthy partners, high expectations, sugar dating app curiosity. With her, love is always conditional on resources. Type 5. The one who's been with your circle. She's dated your friend, slept with a coworker, and now wants you. Everyone feels the tension. No one says it out loud. Why? She's destructive. First, loss of respect. Men who already had her see you as the downgrade. Second, information imbalance. They know things about her that you don't, and there's a reason none committed. Third, social damage. Friendships suffer. Gatherings become uncomfortable. Breakups cost you your circle. How to spot her? Awkward reactions, vague warnings from friends, avoidance of certain people. Choosing her costs your social standing. Type 6. The social media addict. Her identity revolves around attention. Provocative posts, thousands of male followers. Constant validation loops. Why? She's destructive. First, addiction to mass validation. One man can't compete with thousands. Second, perceived availability. Her online presence invites endless options. Third, narcissism. Self-worth tied solely to appearance and attention. How to spot her? Constant thirst traps, male-heavy following, DM engagement, jealousy bait posts. With her, you're competing against the internet. Type 7. The one who lies about her number, the most dangerous type. She claims 4 or 5 partners. Reality says 40 or 50. She omits details, contradicts herself, and deflects when questioned. Why? She's destructive. First, informed consent, fraud. You commit based on false information. Second, deception as a character trait. If she lies here, she lies elsewhere. Third, inevitable exposure. The truth always surfaces, and when it does, trust collapses entirely. How to spot her? Inconsistent stories, defensiveness, magically low numbers, external contradictions. If you stay after discovering the lie, you invite more. Why men ignore these signs? Sexual scarcity, denial, cultural shaming, manipulation. Men fear losing access, hope she's different, get labeled insecure, and get pulled into savior narratives. But the outcome is always the same. The past predicts the future. What to look for instead? Low partner count, minimal need for validation, respect for boundaries, stable relationship history. These women exist, but they require you to be high value as well. Never lower your standards for convenience or loneliness. Your future, peace, and legacy depend on your choice. The 7 types are clear: the serial monogamist, the reformed party girl, the mailer bit collector, the covert sugar baby, the social circle recycler, the validation addict, and the habitual liar. These aren't moral judgments. They're strategic evaluations based on probability, and the data is consistent. Promiscuity strongly correlates with relationship failure. If this saved you years of loss, subscribe. We share the truths most men learn too late. Comment below or no. Have you encountered any of these types? The past matters. Patterns predict outcomes, and choosing the right woman is the most important decision of your life. Now you know. Use it wisely.